Okay, so now that we're in another city, I'm actually going to see if there's anything I'm missing dialogue wise or mission wise. I don't think so. I don't think there's any missions I'm missing specifically. But I also have like my inventory to clean. As you can tell, my inventory is desperately needing attention. Uh, common material. A moa egg. I have. What is moa egg? Is it like a mission thing or is it just for cooking something? That's what I want to know. These things are to be sold. A broken flute. That's Gwen's broken fruit, so we're gonna keep that because I feel like we'll get to return that to her. Okay. I forget that I can just hover over it. I wonder. Oh, I have two remaining. Okay, cool. I was wondering what it would tell me when I'm out. Okay, 'cause I just now see that I'm out. Okay, cool. Um, do you? Yeah, you sell kits. You sell expert kits. What's the difference between expert and a other than the price? Click to to salvage upgrade components from crafting mats, rare or common items. Okay. So do I have any uncommon stuff on me? I don't think I have any uncommon stuff. I have the spare stuff. I guess we could just do this. Because I think most of my stuff is common right now, but I have had a few blues, and I think I've just been breaking them down. If they're like Gilwers too, which I think they are, there is a certain like kit you use for breaking down different materials. Obviously. Also, the dust. Okay, this dust right here, like the glittering dust. It doesn't look like glittering dust to me. Like it looks like intestines because it's so pink. I'm not a fan. It could be worse. Okay, I'm actually gonna put crafting materials, I think, in these bags. Um, Mostly because I want them out of my like immediate inventory. I kind of want I want this one to be dyes. Actually, Let me put the dyes in here. Can I like swap these around? I don't think I can. I think I dropped it in a weird spot. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. That's kind of cool that you can hold a bag. Sorry. I was trying to see if I could swap these around. I don't think you can. Because I was hoping I could put this pouch back here away from everything. Maybe there's a way to do it and I just don't know. But for right now, we'll just not focus on it. Okay. It's okay. This says it's a common crafting material. So we'll put this in this bag. I am just hoarding stuff, crafting material wise. Um, can I sell? I don't want to sell Gwen's flute. Okay, so these are only like 6 gold. This will sell. This will sell. Kind of cool. You can sell your kits if you want to. Okay, so I'm sitting here thinking maybe I should use this. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's break down any weapons we get. Okay. I think these seeds need to be sold. Yeah. Okay. Oh, and can I use it on this? can. I got something out of it. Okay, and I think this is an important item. So we're gonna stick in there, and I might stick the egg in there too, because I don't know what the moa egg is. I stole it. It's my moa egg now, but I don't know what the importance of it is. Like, I don't know if it's a crafting material, because in Guild Wars 2 it's a crafting material. May not be the same thing with this game, so we don't know. So let's see here. Now we're back on this side of the wall, so I wonder if we can head into a seventh section. I got the tip last time from a viewer, or chatter specifically, that best way to do it with getting to new places is to just do the story. And that most of the time the stories are kind of, they're not hard. They're kind of like similar to Guild Wars 2, where they're kind of fairly ranked. There's probably still gonna be times where you have to grind to get certain points, but for the most part, yeah. So that's good, at least. It's a happy day. Okay. I think I've been going in the wrong direction, to be fair. Yeah, see, look at the I've been going in the wrong direction. I've been trying to go to the top of the map, and I think I only need to come to the bottom of the map. This is how I did with Guild Wars 2 too as well. It's almost like the way it's almost like, how do I put this? It's almost like the cam way of doing things. You do it all the wrong ways first before you do it the right way, and then you can, you know, you do it the right way. Oof. A pet's pretty strong against these enemies. So yeah, okay, cool. I'm glad I figured out the kits quicker, because in Guild Wars 2, I didn't figure out the kits nearly as quick, and I was wasting so much stuff. Like, oh my gosh. I told anyone who gets into in the guild that are new, I'm like, this is how these kits work. Because they're extremely important. I mean, it doesn't, like, break your game or ruin anything, mind you, but it's not fun or great. Okay, so I have been, I think, on this side before. I am looking at it from a different direction. So I wonder if I could go here and around. Actually, hold up. I was curious now. You know, what would be a good monster for the Devourers? If you came across a Devourer that had 3 tails instead of 2. You know? Like some kind of unicorn. That'd be kind of a cool one. Okay, so I'm sitting here wondering. Oh yeah, okay, I did go through here, but this area is not this area is new, but not new in the way I think it's new. I like how it says my pet's playful. I'm level 12. When did I level up? You know what? I should stop asking questions. I'm clearly not paying attention. That one's big. Why is he so huge? Who's doing called shot? Is it me? No, I don't know. Maybe one of the other characters has that. Maybe like the warrior or something. If it does, that's kind of cool. I also kind of want to get a Moa, because Moa was one of the it was one of the first ones I ended up having. Technically, I played Savarian in Guild Wars 2, so the first one I got was a dog. So if this game offers a dog as a companion, I am dropping my cat so quickly, because, you know, I had a dog for the first pet in Guild Wars 2, and I loved it. And assuming that, I don't know exactly if this one's like Guild Wars 2, where the pets matter. Because in Guild Wars 2, the different pets you use does matter on what you do. Granted, you have a select choices to run with. If you're running an open world, you have such a options of what you can run with and what works. Um, if you're just playing it for raids and strikes, you still have quite a variety of ones to do, but normally it's pretty based on what your build is. Like the ones I use are based off raid builds alone, so I don't normally do anything on my own accord. For a long time in open world, I used bear and brown bear and snow owl because they were snow owl was a healing and brown bear was a strong build. Still plan to use that one, but that's what I was using because it was convenient. Why are you running up there? Oh my gosh, they're going out of their way just to kill that. Fine. I guess I'm making back my gold. Y'all, y'all shameful. Anywho, as I was trying to get at, so like certain pets are very useful in open world versus other things. Um, and when it comes to like raids and stuff now, I use a lot of bar breaking. Um, like my power build has the gazelle and moa for damage and bar breaking, and then the gazelle for basic bar breaking and some good skills and attacks. And then for my healing, I was using what Snowcrow offered or said, which I think it's tiger and no, it's jacaranda and electric wyvern. So I'm not using anything creative with my healing. With my healing, I tend to stick with what the raid build says. I don't think the for the DPS soul based that the ones I've picked is good choices for damage, but it's good for bar breaking because in most fights there's a bar. I think when most strikes and raids there's bar breaking, and you need to break those. So having a little less DPS isn't a big deal in comparison to being able to knock a boss down a peg, which is how I see it. Though I've ever been with running with a random squad and they want me to change, I always just change. I'm flexible enough to work with whatever they have to offer. I need to get in the habit of tabbing because my fiance said that tabbing will switch enemies, which is what I was wanting. There we go. I am slowly learning the mechanics. Okay, there we go. I bumped the wrong one. Tabbing is hard because I can't see it. It's behind my pinky and stuff, and I think that makes it harder. It's also why I don't use control half the time because I can't see it. If I can't see it when I briefly look down, then it's hard for me to do it in a speedy manner. I know that when you're like doing typing classes, that's a no-no. The whole idea behind it is not to like look at your hands, but I second guess myself all the time. I can't do it. I have to be able to see my fingers. It's also why I'm more likely to stride versus walking forward. When I have to back off from a fight, I'll normally like stride away because it's easier to use DA to get away than it is to try and turn around for me. Like the whipping back around, or you'll see me whip my camera around versus actually just using the buttons to turn around. Yeah, that's because I can't see W. I had a teacher who got mad at me. She goes, because she was my typing teacher, and she's like, you need to be more confident in yourself. You can do it. I'm like, I have learned from my ADHD in the years, you cannot be confident in yourself. That is not an option. There we go. That went relatively smoothly. guys are a little on the weak side. Get the shaman. Okay. Oh, cool. He had a bow. It's a purple bow. It's my bow now. That actually worked really well, considering. I'm a little overhealing right now. There we go. That was good. Considering that we were fighting around a blind corner, I think we did good. Yeah, so I think I have to be very patient with it and be paying attention to my skills. If I pay attention to my skills and I don't overdo it, I theoretically... And granted, I am over-leveled for this area, so that's also a very beneficial factor. I ended up healing my pet, but that's okay. My pet luckily didn't need much care. I think my ranger skills carrying my mesmer skills is actually really useful. It's fascinating, really. Okay. Trying to... I guess it doesn't matter. I guess we better fight. Dang it. Yeah. Got overrun. I was kind of thinking that it maybe be too many of them. But I think when I ran out of the group, that became an issue. It does irritate me, though, that we went through all of that, right? And killed a lot of things. Hello, by the way. it does bother me that we went through all of that trouble, got all that far, and didn't get any boons. And granted, it's probably because I'm over leveled. It irritates me a little bit because the fact that you do all that work, like we walked all the way up there and did all that, and then the debuffing was the only thing we got. You know what I mean? Like that was the only thing. Like we got punished essentially, and I get it. So I'm gonna continue probably ragging on that a little bit because it does bother me. It probably will not become an issue later because I don't know if food's gonna be an option. Because I think food's probably gonna be more valuable in this game because of it. Because I don't know if there's any food in Guild Wars 2 that like takes buffing away. I do know cupcakes do that in this game, but there may be other foods that kind of help a little bit. I don't know. I'm very ignorant of what's in the game and what's not in the game. I still think we took down a good number of them, so there is that. Let's see. Also, this is off topic, but these trees, they make great decoration, but I hate when they put them in the middle of the road because they get in the way. Now, granted, there are some places in Guild Wars 2 like that too, where they have like stuff in the way, and it's supposed to like look overgrown or fit the caliber of the region. But I'm also sitting here like, I still have to walk down this way. Okay. Most exploring out here. We're just kind of seeing what we can find. Okay. I want to kind of peek around here a little bit more, and then I think our next story is elsewhere. Did I go up here? No. We went down this way. Is there anything up here? I feel like there's something this way because there's this big circle something here. I don't know. We do have a green here. Hold up. I'm auto walking. How are you? I'm doing good. How are you? Because we're heading this way. It might loop back around. Yeah, I might have to go this way because it might loop back around. It's really hard to tell with this map where things are going to be. I mean, don't worry, Guild Wars 2 and Guild Wars 1 both have that where, like, when you haven't explored it, it's really difficult to tell where you're supposed to be at. So it's kind of just a staple of the game. Sorry, I sold the gold, which tells me I either left it behind or this is where we died, which is probably where we died. Nope, it got left behind. I might have thought I picked it up and then just didn't. Okay. Alright. This is the thing too. In Guild Wars 2, you can pick enemies off. In Guild Wars 1, it's not really an option. At least currently. You can't really pick them off. They'll like follow you for sure kind of thing. Like even if I was to try and pick off that group, unless I pulled them back all the way and like walked farther back down the path, it had to be a really far path, and even then I feel like they would still come running charging. Now granted, logically that makes sense because they probably heard the commotion. Still doesn't make it any less annoying. Okay, we're gonna do 6, 7. Dang it. What hit me so hard? That's what I want to know. Is it this guy right here? It probably is. Oh, these guys are level 8. Okay, cool. Um, yeah, let's see here. Yeah, I'm going to go back to this gate. This doesn't really help me anything with this. Is there an NPC I'm supposed to be over here talking to? Maybe it's this gate that I'm supposed to come out. I went out one gate. I don't know which gate it was. I thought it was this gate. I think it was. Okay, I think I need to follow the sign here. Yeah, that's what it is. I went the wrong path. It needs me going this way. For a reason, I felt like I couldn't go this way, but I think it's just me mixing up places. So at least I know that since those guys are like level 8, that doesn't really upset me as much because at least they're more on par with me. So I kind of get it. I thought they were lower level. I didn't get a chance to look. I wasn't paying attention. At least I wasn't like too far away too. That is the other benefit. These guys are so much bigger in this game than they are in Guild Wars 2. And this time they're like half the size of most characters. I think they're tall, but they're kind of more lanky than they are. Sorry. Okay. Let me get Shaman down. Are you serious, you bastards? Go up there. We're dealing with them right now. There we go. These measure skills are really nice. Like I said, I'm actually getting kind of used to them. Especially since I now know where I made my mistake about having too many skills with peppered. Because in Guild Wars 2, it's the opposite. If you've got, well, kinda. If you start off in the open world, right, having a mix of essentially Celestial is what people run normally. People either run Celestial or they'll run Berserker. Because normally you don't have enough stuff to run a healing build at beginning. You kind of have to, like, the better skills for healing are a little higher up, mid to high tier stuff. Not anything you can't get. You'll get it quickly, but it's not something that's at the top of things. But normally Berserker is really easy to come by, and Celestial, which is kind of like a spread of things, is a little easier to come by. Okay, we're going to follow these signs. I do like that they're signs. I really wish Guild Wars 2 had more signs, because granted, I should have been paying attention to them, but I like that when they have those because they make for an interesting environment. They make it feel more lively. Because then it's like, look, there were streets, there were roads, there were paths, that kind of thing. Oh, I guess we're going to go down here. I want to see if I could bow to the statue and if she'll respond to me. She may only ask me for donations, but we'll see. But, yeah. So, I think it's kind of it's a nice little touch. Have to start paying attention. I think maybe in Guild Wars 1 or Guild Wars 2 there is some signs, but it's not the main way you find your way around. The main way you find your way around is by following the major roads, because there's major veins down the map. And there's a lot of like nodes along the way too, so with new players at least, it kind of like guides them along the path. I don't know if that's how they set it up, but that's how it feels. Okay. It also feels weird that this game's highest level is level 20. You know, now that I think about it, the only thing about that makes sense is that most Ascalonia is kind of in a level 20, level 30 area. So I think it was like slash Neil. Maybe? Yeah. Oh. So yeah. The Muse. We'll talk to you in a second. Give us a second. We're being surrounded. Okay, the face looks pretty cool. Okay. This spot is just getting us so much money. Okay. We'll go back and talk to her. Hey, dearie. Okay. The glory of it is reflected in many realms. Do you take an offer to the particular one? Oh, okay, cool. Well, let's just do that. Why not? Okay. Give us a little boost. Nothing crazy. Just something. I don't know if we'll need it, but we have it now. I don't want to summon it for nothing. See, look, we're around this corner, and you can already see the red dots running around the corner. Even before they could see them. So, like I said, logically, it's probably because they can hear, quote-unquote, the combat. But still. Sometimes I find it odd. Okay. Alright, so... that sign said... at least, yeah. So we're getting close to where we need to be. Right? Yeah. Yeah, we're getting there. Okay, cool. Hey, how's it goes? It goes well. I'm slowly figuring out where I'm supposed to go. Theoretically, I'm still getting my butt handed to me, but at least I'm not dying. I've only died twice, right? Twice. I've died twice, but I've tried twice to the same group of people when I was going in the wrong direction. So I can accept that level of tomfoolery on my own part. Oh, I've discovered that you're supposed to read the signs. I mean, I know that there's an arrow here, right? But that arrow is really, really tiny under this thing, so I didn't even see the arrow. I just saw this highlighted. And I thought maybe this path would, like, loop around stuff, which I've noticed that I take too long going along paths, which is stupid because it's not where I'm supposed to be going. Oh, get these guys. But I've also started noticing that, and granted, I should have paid to the little tiny map, but I just haven't. But I have discovered that doing storylines is a really good way to do it, opening waypoints and stuff, and that you can walk to them, but it's a lot difficulter than it's worth. But yeah. I also realized the last few episodes I've been going in the wrong direction. Like, I've been going into locations that are too strong for me. On the good side, I'm now running around in an area that has half the levels that I do. So I'm beating characters who are 4 and level 6 while I'm level 12. So, you know, small victories. Alright, good. We've made it to the other fort. We've arrived just in time. The prince has already begun scouting the path. From what I can see, he's prepared to pursue the Char on his own if need be. He asked that I remain in this area and direct everyone I can to join him, and I am doing my best to carry out his orders. Please gather a force as quickly as you can and see if you can catch up with Prince Rurik before he tries to face Char army on his own. You're not a very smart prince, are you? I am glad you're having fun still. Thanks. It is a learning curve, but it's not the game's fault. I'm stupid. That's my fault. I'm curious on how big of an increase in damage you will get if you reassign your attributes to make... yes! See, that's another thing, too. That's another thing that I found out yesterday, or 2 days ago, that I did stupidly. Alright? My points, I'm supposed to be using them towards specific things, right? And I have currently inspiration as one of them, but that's just so that these mesmer skills work well. But the build that I'm working on actually only needs marksman, I think beast mastery, and I think it's domain magic or illusion magic. And then I think I may take survival if I need to. Because I have an entire list. I found the wiki. I went through someone's YouTube. I was looking for builds because I was like, surely I'm doing something wrong. So I looked up YouTube builds, and I found they linked the wiki in their video. Thank the Lord. And so now I see what they look like, and I've made a list of potential dreams. See what you can do if you can turn the everything. I get you. Fair enough. I'll take your tip on the matter. Can't be that bad. Cause right now, my beastman skills, let's lower the beastman skills a little bit, maybe? See if we can get away with, did I get that? I think it's at a 9. Maybe, it's a 7. Hold up, I need to read these, I was skimming over them. You can increase your rank to 7 or to 8. Which one did I need for wilderness? I think wilderness, yeah. Wilderness is the tonic. Okay, cool. Let's get rid of wilderness actually. And the tonic was great, but I also have this skill. And I've only had to use the tonic as much every now and then versus this. So let's do that. And see about, how about I do this? I think I have more beastman skills because I'm using this one. I'm not really worried about the attributes for it. Yeah, the marksman is using favorable winds, and it's using hunter shot. Yeah, and see, my beastman is using these skills. Yeah. Okay, so let's do that. See if that works. It lowers me to 2 stats, but let's do that actually. Run beast mass at 5 and inspiration at 1 and okay. Okay, you could try that. Can't be that bad, right? There we go. We weren't doing too bad earlier, so it can't be too hard. Okay, so now we have to do the story. Oh, hold up. There may be threats in this world. Is there a challenge? Friend, if you seek allies, perhaps you should find them at the Embark Breach. Okay. I don't know where I'm going. We're gonna find out. Oh, it's this thing. This area. See, okay, I figured out how to get in this area. Why it always takes me here? It always kind of bothers me a little bit because, hold up. I need to go find the camp. always find this to be annoying that it immediately takes me here because you're not going to do any PvP for a very, very long time. So I should be paying attention, though, to be fair. I should be paying attention, and I shouldn't be just clicking every which way. There we go. But at least it's an easy to get out of. The damage with your bow should increase by a lot by the meeting required. Is for higher PvP. Yeah, exactly. I don't think I'll ever do PvP, honestly. I hate PvP. I can't do it. I don't even like it in Guild Wars, like 1 and stuff. Or Guild Wars 2 specifically. Sorry, getting my games confused. I don't like it because I can't do it. Oh, it stresses me out too much. All right, fighter. And the mage. Alright, we got full team. We're good. Mage was a later addition to the game and a hub for PvE as the game, since you can teleport around a lot. Well, that's fair. I guess it gives you good access to things. Like you said, like it gives you kind of like some good waypoints and stuff. I was over there, so I know I can make it over there theoretically. Actually, would it be faster just to do it from this gate? Yeah. I mean, unless I can go through here. Let's try that. Let's see if we can go another direction. It may be short depending on, it may not matter which direction you come from. But I know that like one of my guildmates in Guild Wars 2 was saying that you can use the PvP area to teleport to different locations a lot easier, but it's not like a requirement. But it does irritate me that I feel like that should be a level block thing where you can't go to it, because I didn't know how to get out of it when we first got in there, and I came with a friend, and the only way I got out of it was he kicked me out. Or that we disembarked or something, or broke something, broke contact. Either way, we got out of it, but it took several jumping through hoops to get it. And then I ended up falling, going into it by accident 2 or 3 other times, but I could get myself out by that point, so not an issue. It should have like, you know how like inside the in the PvP world they have like the little shield and sword. They should have that logo on it. It shouldn't be green. Make it red. So it's different from the arrows, because if you're blind clicking like me, I thought it was a mission. You'll go over there and click on it and be like, cool, and jump on it. At least for the first, I mean, like, veterans are going to be reading because veterans are paying attention. To be fair, I read a lot more in Guild Wars 2 as a vet than I do as a, than I did as a new player. I blindly jumped into everything. I even blindly jumped into a fractal. And got roasted by people in there because I didn't know what I was doing. It gave me trauma. I didn't do fractals until I joined the RCC guild, because I didn't feel comfortable with it because I had gotten bullied. I don't know if bully is necessarily the right word, but I did get like yelled at by one of my teammates because I didn't know what was going on, and I couldn't type fast enough at the time to tell him I didn't know what I was doing. Your damage is a lot higher. That's great. Yes, it is great. I agree. That was a good tip on your part. Thank you very much, by the way. Before I forget to say something, sometimes I'll say it in my mind and then forget to say it out loud. I did that one time to my dad. My dad was helping me with something. I can't remember what exactly it was. I want to say, oh, that's what it was. It was my Game Boy. He helped me. He helped my Game Boy. I had a game in there, and my game was not wanting to like load properly, and I was really sad. And so my dad pulled it out and was like fixing it. Like he blew it on the game, and then he blew inside the Game Boy, and then he did something else to it. I wasn't paying attention. He did something with the buttons, and I think some buttons were stuck or something. Whatever it was, my dad fixed it for me, and I was really, really tired. It was Saturday morning. I I was literally zombie mode. I was playing my Game Boy until my dad came in. And I told my dad I couldn't fix it. And then when he fixed it, I was like, oh, I grunted at him. And then proceeded to walk past him with my Game Boy into the kitchen. And then my dad teasingly goes, well, you're welcome. Like, he wasn't really upset. And I turned to him and goes, didn't I say thank you? He goes, no, you didn't. I'm like, I'm sorry. Thank you. Like, I felt so bad. My dad just looked at me and goes, you're not awake, are you? I'm like, no. I can tell. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, other than the fact that you grunted at me and you didn't say something. He's like, your hair is a mess. You look like you barely just rolled out of bed. Yeah. I felt so bad. But my dad just kind of giggled and goes, whatever. He was in a really good mood that day. And I honestly, he tended to be a bit gentler in the morning because he understood us kids did not wake up as well as he did. But if I had done that same, if I had pulled that same thing while I was wide awake, he would have been a little bit more like, hey, where's my thank you? You know? Fair, right? But I felt so bad because I was like, I wasn't trying to be an ass dad. He's like, yeah, you're fine. Is there a pathway up here? It looks like there is. Kill him! Kill him with fire! That is definitely hitting way harder. A nice tip for Ranger is the default keybinds for a few things. C is close enemies. Closest enemy. Tab, it lets you cycle. Yeah, see, the tab I've been working with. I've been trying to get tab. But the C thing I didn't know about. I absolutely will use the C because that's close to my space bar, which is easy for me to access. Cycles to the next enemy. Spacebar makes you auto attack an enemy if they are targeted. Okay. Okay. So you don't even have to click, which is great. Okay, I'm gonna have to work on that because Alright, let's try that. All right. I didn't use a single mouse button. I literally just was using the C button. No. Attack the closest. Don't chase him. There we go. Oh. Okay, so you can't go down there, but you can take pot shots at them? Oh, I am down for that. Let's do that. Just sit here and take pot shots at them. Two can play at this game. Alright, let's grab him. Haha. I don't know if I can get them from here. I can. They do have a chance of dodging, though. Obviously. Okay. Well, that'll work. Oh, it even turns with you, too. I love that. I'm not turning at all. Okay. I was too heavily mouse controlling this. Okay, that's so much nicer. Thank you so much for the tip. It gets difficult to select enemies with the mouse if there's a lot of enemies, yes. Rangers also have a lot of damage boost for having an elevated advantage, while bows, you get the bonus, not the ranger. Yeah. See, and I like the longbow, because in Guild Wars 2, it's my main weapon. It's the main weapon that I constantly use. I like the effects of it. It's also the first legendary I ever built, so I'm biased. So I was going to use the longbow in this no matter what. Unless I sucked and then I really needed the pain. Sorry. I thought I had targeted somebody. I guess I didn't. Sorry. I had to avoid actually using my hand. I'm actually holding my hand against my chest so I don't use it. I'm gonna have to. I think I'm about to get closer to it real quick. Here we go. I was watching my pet do all the damage. I'm actually consciously keeping my hand away from my mouse while playing this game. Which with Guild Wars 2, I always play with my with my hand and stuff. So this is an entirely alien experience with that. It's nice, but it is an alien experience. Okay. So that one doesn't want to do it. Sorry. I've been using the same bow since I got from the beginning too, because it like works the best. I do like that the camera follows behind pretty well. Okay, hold up. Where are we headed? Okay, we're good. We're just heading across. You can change a lot of keybinds. One of the that I love is getting used to is toggle enemy nearest. There is a lot of keybinds in combinations in Guild Wars 1. Yeah, see, and I also arranged, like, this is off topic. I arranged my numbers on my bar a specific way for that reason. Okay, let's, yeah. Sorry, I was looking down at my hand. But I got them arranged on in the bar for a reason, the way I've got them, because I've got separate heals and stuff. But that keybind really helps when combining with spacebar to quickly pick up loot quickly. But since the game is in a final state, at the end it's always meta build that are the best. Yeah, the best builds are the ones you have the most fun with. Locking yourself in the meta removes a lot of magic of the game. I know. Yeah, see, I'm with you on that. I've had people tell me during Guild Wars 2, like lots of new players ask me, what's the best builds for open world? And I said, whatever you like, whatever's comfy, whatever's fun to play. Because at the end of the day, open world in Guild Wars 2 isn't the main part of the game. It's not the be-all, end-all parts of the game. It's just the beginning. Story, yes. PvP, yeah. You know, having a decent build is important, but not a necessity. There we go. I looked at some of the builds on the Ranger Mesmer, and I didn't like them. They're good for farming, it said, but not anything else. And I really just wanted to make a build that works good in open world. We're gonna start with him. I hate the shamans. They do all the healing. We're gonna pick the next closest. I probably should honestly pick the ranger, but I also have the fighter. He can go deal with that. They shut up stuff up with Guild Wars 3, but the same skill styles of your Guild Wars 1, you know. Ranger does great for farming, yeah. The sad part is that bows on rangers are not meta. Daggers are. Yeah, I could see that. See, and I don't mind using it for farming per se, but I want to try and make a build that I can just survive by. I don't really care about doing the biggest damage and all that nonsense. I just want to be able to survive and not die. I still may end up building meta builds, because one thing I liked about Guild Wars 2 is that I did end up getting into building builds later. I didn't want to do healing druid in Guild Wars 2. I wanted to avoid doing healing so much because I hated the idea of it. I need to get away from this guy. He's causing me problems in my back. I didn't want to do healing druid because I thought I couldn't handle it. After I did DPS Soul Beast for a while, then I got comfortable with it. And so I probably will end up doing that with this game too. Once I get comfortable with my skill sets, I'll probably have different builds for them or different setups. Because once you get more comfortable with something, you'll get more flexible with it. And I think someone told me that Guild Wars 1 is more flexible than Guild Wars 2 in a lot of ways. So there is that. I think we're going to the back area of this. Yeah, this is the back of that group. I don't know if we'll make it. We'll find out. Dang it. I was doing so well until they all ganged up on me. Of course, the healer goes and dies. Alright, well, it's whatever. Ugh. Let's see here. Moves are fun. I have a few fun skills I love when I use bows. Monk have a hard time to level up, but it's easier to find groups. Yeah, see, my fiance is playing a monk necromancer, I think, and he says it's rough as far as like the skill sets and stuff, but he says it's fun. Here's one is very flexible, many possible builds. It is, let me join your party. I think I got it right now. I'm trying to get farther. Oh, 1 second. Crap. I have went too far with this.